What is happening, friends of the Yieldmax community? My name is Mike, coming to you from Health and Wealth. Today's episode, we're going to take a look back at this week, and we're going to see how Yieldmax fund managers did with the two ETFs that I'm predominantly following, which is MSTY, MSTY, and NVDY, NVDY. So stay tuned, join the group here, hit that subscribe and like button for me, and let's get right into it. So first thing I'm looking at here is actually MSTY, MSTY. I've got Yieldmax's website open here. I'm going to go ahead and link the website below. So if you want to take a look at this throughout the week, I definitely recommend you doing that. How did I find this page? Well, at the very top, I went to our ETFs. I scrolled down and I clicked on MSTY right here. Now the same thing is going to go for all of their 29 other ETFs that they're covering here. So it could be 28. I think it's 29. I think they just had a brand new one come out yesterday or today. So currently trading at a 99.22% distribution rate. Yieldmax just paid out dividends today, and congratulations to us in Canada. We got paid the same time as you did in America. Woohoo! That never happened. So we got our payment today, $1.94 from MSTY and $1.25 from NVDY, NVDY. So congratulations to us. Now, some of us are happy, some of us are sad, some are in the middle. I'm right in the middle with that. You know, of course, it's not as much as it was last month, or the month before, but here we are. I'm happy to get money anyways. It was about half of what we got from the previous month. So, you know, it's not quite as good. And the reason why it wasn't as good is because we had some major run-ups with MSTY. MicroStrategy announced that they were going to do a 10-for-1 stock split, and their stock took off, right? And so because of that, MSTY fund managers weren't able to capture the income because they had set their weekly calls, not really knowing that MicroStrategies is going to have a 10-for-1 split. But on top of that, Bitcoin had a major run up as well. So what happened is we didn't make as much money as what we would have liked to make. So that's the bad news. The good news is that we just had an incredible week as MSTY shareholders here. So let me scroll down and go over that news with you. As I'm scrolling, you can take a look at the 5 distributions that have come out with MSTY. If you're new to MSTY, it's extremely volatile, which is the reason why Yieldmax has chosen MSTY as one of their companies that they're going to run their calls on and their synthetic options. That volatility increases the amount of money that they can make in calls and synthetic options, right? So premium that they can collect. So there's our 5 distributions. I think the average is, I'll flash it up after, I'll do the math, but I think the average is right around, or the total payment is right around $12. The average is just under $3. I'll put both of those numbers up right now. There we go. Let's continue down. Let's take a look at the week in what we've done here. So under holdings is where you're going to find that. I'm just going to kind of scroll this over here if I can. There we go. That's the best I got for you. So it's pretty simple to look at. They've written calls and the synthetic option here. So it looks like we have 3 calls for this week. So August the 9th right here. August the 9th. I'll bring my mouse over so you can see that. August the 9th. That's today. Another one and another one. So those are your 3 call options here. And if we scroll over our eyes over a little bit, 144, 145, and 160. So the goal for the week is for the for Mr. MSTR, the underlying stock, to stay underneath these numbers. Now the top 2 here, we got 2150, 700, and then the big bad boy right here, 26,900. That's where MSTY fund managers put a majority of our money in these contracts right here. So the goal is, again, for the weekly calls, for the price of the underlying stock to stay underneath that. So let's take a look to see how MSTY did this week. Right now it's 3:55 p.m. Let me see if I can move this over now for you. Give me a second here. There we go. So we're getting close to the close, but $134. So safe to say we're underneath each of those 3 strike positions right there, which is fantastic. So that means that we have made money on all 3 of those. Now, what has probably happened is the fund managers closed all 3 of those options already. Just doesn't show up on the website until tomorrow or later tonight around 9 o'clock. It will show up. So those are the wins for us this week. Last month we didn't have many wins until the end of the month. So that's again why we didn't make as much money. Now, the next thing that we're going to take a look here is the 4th line down. This is your synthetic option, and it is for 1 week from today. It's on the 16th of August. And this one, we want the price of Mr. MicroStrategies to be above it. So it's at $155 is the goal for us to be at a minimum for us to make money on that synthetic option. You can see we have a big number of shares under that too, 29,750. And so what happens if it's under? A couple things could happen. The fund managers can close out of that option paying money because we didn't make enough, so they would have to close that. The other one is, and probably a little more probable, they'll have to roll that option to a further date. So sometimes what they do is they'll roll it to a month from August 16th, and they'll roll it for a little bit less, like 150 or 153. To do that, they're going to gain some premium by doing that rolling option. But then they're kind of lowering that target, hoping that Mr. next month goes over. So let's pay attention to that one as we go into next week. We'll see what it does. We'll see if they keep it at that 155. So again, they got roughly 5 days for us to get up to 155. If we see Bitcoin take off, then that's going to be good. If Bitcoin is going into a slump, which I heard it was doing that today, then that's bad, right? So that's something to pay attention to. The rest of the stuff in here, you have a lot of treasury information. What else do we have down here? Another call option, $155 for August 24th. And 155. Oh, it's the same one. Okay, so a little bit of a combo here of the call and the put there. Yeah, good stuff. So that's going to be your MSTY conversation today. They're doing very well on their weekly calls. That's the main part that I wanted to go over with you. The weekly calls is a plus. That's always good. And then their synthetic is doing okay, not great, but could be way worse. And we'll see what they do next week with that synthetic option. Next one I want to talk about is NVDY. This is my main holder here, NVDY, in my portfolio. Current distribution rate is 65%. Last month, if you looked at my video just 2 weeks ago, it was over 100%, but then they paid out $1.25, which is quite a bit lower compared to what they've paid out the previous 4 months. Now, if you're a NVDY shareholder from day one, you have had, let's go take a look. All of these distributions sent to you, which would have paid for your entire investment in just 1 year and a couple months, which is incredible. So I'm pretty happy to be a part of NVDY. It is, consistently paying me. I've had it since April, so you can see I've had these 5 distributions since then. My average cost is $29, just over, which is kind of high and compared to the price of the stock right now. So let's go down. Let's take a look at the NVDY stock right now. I'm just going to refresh this. We're at $104.72 with 1 minute left in the market. So that's cool. I'll go ahead and click on NVDY at YieldMax's website here and scroll down to see what their positions were. So they have a synthetic option. One thing I don't really love about the website is they don't have it organized with the same format on every ETF. So it makes it a little bit of an adventure to look around here. But what we have here is a synthetic option. It looks like it's expiring September 20th. Is that true? I'll have to dig deeper into that one. I'm not too sure why it says September 20th, considering that's not the end of the week. That is, September 20th. That is the end of the week. It's a Friday. So that's good. Okay, so that's a synthetic option over a month from now, $115. The goal for NVDY or for NVIDIA is to get above the $115 by September the 20th for us to make money. If it doesn't get over the $115, then we will either lose money or they're going to roll that option to a further month. Definitely, I would think the latter of those two is what they're going to do. We'll find out. A lot of treasury stuff here. We make money on treasuries, not a ton of money, but a little bit of interest in there. That's where a lot of the cash gets put, in the treasuries. And then we'll scroll down here to the two positions that NVIDY has. And so their calls expiring next week on the 16th here at $111. Let's go look at that NVIDY price again, 104. So again, the goal, oops, 1 second here, I'll bring that over for you, 104. The goal again for this is for that price right there, 104 this way, $104, that we don't get above 111 for that to be a successful trade for us. Now you can see there is a ton of shares on there with that one. And then we also have another call here. This is the synthetic option down at the bottom here. So $115, again, September 20th, right? The call and the put makes the synthetic option, same amount of shares here. That's how you're able to tell that they are linked together. Again, not a huge fan of Yieldmax separating this stuff on their website. It makes it more difficult to read. But here we are, we're making a video about it right now. So yeah, only one call out there as of right now. They put all of their eggs in one basket, so to say. But we'll see on Monday or Tuesday if they open up any other options here during that time to make us money on the weekly calls. But I believe yesterday they closed out of a bunch of options, which is really good. That means we locked up some cash there for our monthly distribution. So really, really good week here for both MSTY and NVDY. I just wanted to say thanks so much for being here with me today. The video's not over yet, as you can see, but I just wanted to really thank the community for their subscription to my channel. My goal here, I was thinking, what am I going to do if I get monetized, if I make money on this YouTube channel, even if it's just a little bit of money? I think I'm throwing out some ideas here. One of them is, if I do make money, have the community choose the ETF that I put that money into, and I'm going to call it my daughter's fund. We'll see how high we can build that up with the community. It's a pretty easy thing for you to do. All you got to do is subscribe and like these videos. It's free for you to do. We'll see if we're able to get there in the next 6 months or so. The second thing I wanted to see was, can I get this channel monetized before I reach $1,000 a month in dividends? I think that one's a pretty tall task. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but hey, if you're still here and you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit it for me. I appreciate it. And you guys tell me in the chat below, where should we invest this money for my kid? If I was to ever get monetized on YouTube, I don't know. I think it's a pretty tall task, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, I am currently packing for a trip to Florida. We're going to Disney World. Everybody told me going to Florida in August is the best month to be there. I'm just kidding, being sarcastic, but that's when we're going. That's when we have holidays. So Disney World on Monday. But I just wanted to stop in and go over how the Yieldmax fund managers did this week. Let's do a little celebration. Throw on the celebration horns there. And I wanted to say thanks so much again for being here. I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a really great weekend. Bye for now.